And welcome back to Jack Talk. I'm your host, Savannah Fields, and today we're here with Miss Linda King talking about stained glass making and how it can not only benefit those who are artists at heart, but anyone who just wants to learn how to do something different. Hi, Miss King, how are you?
Hello, I'm great.
Hi. Well, now, Miss King, what specifically is your job title at Glass Castles?
I am the gift shop manager, and I've been there for almost a year and a half now.
Okay, and can you give us a little history on how Glass Castles started doing any stained glass classes?
Well, I visited with Teresa, who is one of the co-owners, and she said that they actually offered a class to 3 individuals and invited them into their home when they lived in Houston in 1981.
Okay.
And then eventually they were doing Renaissance festivals, and then they moved to Nacogdoches because it was halfway between Houston and Dallas. And they started a little shop just across from the college on North Street. And I think that the college at that time was offering classes like in a craft studio or something. So they didn't actually start classes in Nacogdoches until that closed.
Okay.
And then in 1999, they opened the shop up on at 323 North Main Street. Sorry. And we've been doing classes. You know, we start with a date.
Okay.
And then we do 4 consecutive weeks where, like, if you start on a Wednesday evening, then you would come. Actually, we don't have Wednesday evening classes. If you started on a Thursday evening class, then you'd come 4 consecutive Thursday evenings.
Okay, so if I started on one Thursday, I would have to come every Thursday after that then?
For
4 weeks?
For a total of 4 weeks.
Okay, that's interesting. And seeing that you've been working there for quite some time now, an interesting fact that most people don't know is that Glass Castles offers the lessons. And so I just wanted to know, have you personally taken any classes?
Yes, actually that was one of the intriguing things about getting to work at Glass Castles was that they would teach me. So I talked my husband into taking a class with me. Okay. And we had this project that we wanted to do down the road, which was a trifold room divider, and we haven't gotten there yet, but we have been learning how to do stained glass, and I actually brought my husband's beginning piece with me.
That is so beautiful.
And Glass Castles actually has 5 different designs that we choose from. We have a hummingbird pattern, the angel, we have a Victorian jewel pattern, sunrise. Anyway, what the student does is they come in, and the class fee is $50.
Okay.
We ask that you buy a glass cutter from us, and we have a whole range of different types of glass cutters. We let you choose which fits your hand best. Okay. And then you pick out your glass, and your total cost averages out somewhere between $50 to $105 when you're finished.
Okay.
I'm sorry, not 50, 85 to $105 dollars. And then what you do is you learn how to cut glass. You do copper foil. When you go to an advanced class, you learn how to do actual lead stained glass, where it's like a lead cane strip that has cut out grooves where the glass actually fits into it. And it's a little bit different than this. That you have to putty to secure the glass. Okay. The copper foil actually is fitted right onto the glass. It's taped onto it, and then you put a chemical on it and you solder it together. And then you finish this up where we patina it, turn it this darker color, and then we polish it and we finish it up with a zinc rim. And you get to take home this beautiful little stained glass piece when you're finished.
Oh, that's interesting. And then who teaches the classes specifically?
Currently, David and Teresa Darby, the owners, are teaching the classes. At some point, they told me I could eventually help teach. I don't think I'm there yet.
Well, speaking of Mrs. and Mr. Darby, unfortunately they were unable to join us, but let's take a look at the story that showcases Glass Castles and what it has to offer. It is a place where not only the glass shines, but also where the people who own the place sparkle. For over 30 years, Mrs. and Mr. Darby have lived in the Nacogdoches community and have brought the art of stained glass from a big city to a small town.
I hope the fact that there's not many stained glass studios around where people can come in and see people doing the work that will eventually go into churches and homes. I also think we're unique because we open ourselves up for people to have tours, and we work with tour groups so that they can make little projects to take home with them. And we do a lot of education of the stained glass, not just working. We teach, and then we have the supplies for people to buy, so that when customers come in, if they want to learn, we'll help them learn what they want to and work on big lamps or make their own church windows or make their own front doors. You know, we want them to do what they want. And then we're also different because we have the gift shop, which includes stained glass that's made by the students that have come in and learned, and also things that are made in Nacogdoches, in Texas, and the United States.
With all of this going on, Mr. and Mrs. Darby are very involved in the Nacogdoches community, and it is through Glass Castles that they are not only able to give back, but also make a difference.
That it's very important for a business to give back.
Okay.
So we're very involved in the Chamber of Commerce, and especially Blueberry Festival is kind of the niche that we really give a lot of our time and energy in. And then we also feel like it's very important to be part of the church community. So we teach in our church, and we help church members. And so I just feel like that one of the things that we really try to do is give more than we get, but it's really hard to get ahead of that because we've got a great, generous community to live in. So we're constantly receiving.
Well, you heard it first here. It's the place where the glass sparkles and the people shine even brighter. Reporting for Jack Talk, I'm Savannah Fields. Wow, Glass Castles is really involved in the community and has a lot to offer to the people of Nacogdoches. Now, I know you brought in a piece that your husband made. Could you tell us just a little bit more about that piece?
Well, I actually got to keep his piece. I gave mine away. So that was why I brought in my husband's piece. And I also really like it because he made it for me.
Oh, that's so sweet. What did the stained glass lessons teach both of you guys?
Well, for me it was patience. I always thought I was a patient person, but you cannot hurry soldering and you cannot hurry cutting glass. There are consequences if you do. And actually one of the neatest things that I learned while I was doing stained glass is that it's okay to make mistakes because you can always undo them. You just unsolder it and start over.
Well, wow, that's interesting. Well, it was great having you on the show, Miss King. I really appreciate you, and I really learned a lot about stained glass making. If anyone would like to learn more information about stained glass making classes or about Glass Castles, you can contact them directly at 936-560-3249, or you can go online at facebook.com/glasscastles.stainedglass. Coming up next, are you hip on the latest fashion trends? Well, we'll take a look at two young men who are not only making a name for themselves on the track, but also in the fashion industry, all right here on Jack Talk.